Jungkook BTS mesmerizes everyone in Canada when Jungkook stepped out of his car into the crisp Canadian morning. The air itself seemed to hold its breath. Dressed in understated elegance, black and brown tones that framed his calm confidence, he greeted the waiting crowd with that familiar mix of shyness and charisma. Within minutes, social media platforms from Toronto to Seoul were flooded with clips of his wave, his smile, and the quiet power he carries wherever he goes. For weeks, speculation had swirled about the purpose of Jungkook's visit to Canada. Some said it was for a collaboration project, others whispered about a potential fashion campaign. Yet regardless of the reason, his arrival instantly became a cultural moment. Fans camped outside hotels, local media outlets scrambled to cover every sighting, and Canadian streets echoed with the rhythm of BTS songs played by excited admirers that a global presence. A personal touch. Jungkook's appeal has always transcended borders. In Canada, this was more than fandom. It was a phenomenon. His ability to connect with people through music, performance, and authenticity was on full display. When he appeared at a local charity event, dressed simply and smiling softly as he met volunteers, it wasn't the superstar aura that struck observers. It was the genuine warmth that filled the room. His energy is calm, but powerful, one attendee said. You feel seen, even when he's surrounded by thousands. Canada falls under his spell. From Montreal to Vancouver, Jungkook's presence sparked a wave of admiration. Local businesses put up purple lights in tribute, radio stations ran BTS-themed hours, and artists released covers of his solo songs. For many, his visit symbolized hope, a reminder that global music can unite people across languages and continents. One of the most talked about moments came when Jungkook was seen strolling near the lakeside in Toronto, quietly enjoying the scenery. Fans kept their distance, capturing respectful glimpses. Later, a fan posted, "He looked so peaceful, like the whole world finally slowed down for him." Fashion, confidence, and the power of simplicity. Fashion critics couldn't ignore him either. Jungkook's choice of outfit, minimal yet sharp, was hailed as a perfect example of effortless luxury. The brown-edged cardigan, white shirt, and slim black pants became instant trend pieces. Several Canadian boutiques reported a spike in demand for similar styles the next day. "He knows how to let clothes speak for him," said one stylist. "He doesn't chase trends, he defines them." A symbol of global unity in a world often divided by differences, Jungkook continues to represent unity through artistry. His visit to Canada was more than a celebrity appearance, it was a bridge. Local charities he quietly supported saw surges in donations. Fans collaborated to donate to food banks and environmental programs in his name, turning admiration into action. The moment that captured the world as Jungkook prepared to leave Canada, the airport was lined with fans holding purple hearts and handmade signs reading "See you again." Reporters captured the moment he paused, smiled, and waved, a gesture that seemed to say both goodbye and promise. Within minutes, that image went viral, captioned by fans worldwide. "The world can't stay away." A legacy that keeps growing. Jungkook's trip to Canada may have lasted only a few days, but its echo remains. Every story shared, every fan moved, every heart inspired. It all adds to the growing legacy of an artist who continues to redefine what it means to connect. His magnetism is not loud or forced. It is quiet, sincere, and unshakably human. And perhaps that is why the world truly can't stay away. Toronto had seen its share of major stars, film premieres, world tours, even royal visits. But nothing prepared the city for the wave of energy that arrived with Jungkook. On the evening after his first public appearance, entire streets began to shimmer with purple lights. The CN Tower glowed in a soft lavender hue, an unplanned yet fitting tribute that fans instantly claimed as a symbol of welcome. The sidewalks outside his hotel filled quietly, respectfully, with fans holding banners and tiny lights. They didn't scream or push. Instead, they sang softly. A chorus of "Still With You" drifted through the air, harmonizing with the hum of the city. That a local journalist described it perfectly. It wasn't chaos, it was reverence. Everyone there knew they were witnessing a moment, something gentle, beautiful, and fleeting. Across social media, the hashtag Jungkook in Canada trended for 48 hours straight, reaching over 100 million impressions worldwide. News channels replayed clips of his simple wave, dissecting every frame with awe. Even those unfamiliar with BTS couldn't help but be drawn into the phenomenon. The quiet magnetism of one man who carried an entire nation's pride and a global fandom's devotion in his gaze. The coffee shop moment the next morning, a news story surfaced. Jungkook had been spotted at a small cafe near Kensington Market. Dressed casually in a hoodie and cap, he had ordered a flat white and sat by the window for nearly an hour, watching the city come alive. One barista, too stunned to move, later recounted the experience. He was polite, soft-spoken, and smiled when I told him his song was playing on our playlist. He said, "That's nice to hear in a place so far from home." The cafe's owner later admitted that within hours, lines wrapped around the block. People wanted to stand where Jungkook had stood, to sip from the same cup, to feel a little closer to that fleeting piece of history. And yet, despite the frenzy, Jungkook remained humble. Later that day, his team released a quiet statement thanking fans for their warmth and asking them to prioritize safety and respect for the community. The tone was gentle, no reprimand, just gratitude. That small message deepened public admiration even more. When music meets humanity. By the third day of his stay, rumors began swirling about a surprise recording session. Sources hinted that Jungkook had visited a private studio in downtown Toronto, possibly collaborating with a Canadian producer known for indie and R&B projects. Though neither side confirmed it, speculation only added to the excitement. Fans filled timelines with theories. Maybe it was for a deluxe edition, maybe a new English single, or even a soundtrack. But beyond the guessing, one thing was clear. Jungkook was in his element, exploring, creating, and connecting. Music critics later reflected on what his solo work meant in moments like this. He doesn't just perform. He builds emotional architecture, wrote Music Today columnist Hannah Clive. Every song feels like a place, and when he visits a new country, that place expands. Canada, for a few days, became part of his melody. Giving back quietly unbeknownst to many fans at first, Jungkook's visit carried a deeper purpose. His team had arranged donations to several Canadian children's hospitals and food programs. Local charities later confirmed that the funds were given anonymously, but eventually connected to his name through fan sleuthing. It was not the first time Jungkook had made quiet gestures of kindness. But here, thousands of miles from Seoul, it resonated deeply. Canadian armies launched their own campaigns, from tree planting events in Vancouver to free meal drives in Toronto's immigrant neighborhoods. Within days, more than $120,000 was raised under the banner #PurpleForJungkook that a Toronto-based volunteer, Aaron Lee, shared. He gives people this sense of responsibility, like kindness is contagious when it starts with him. The mystery of the night rehearsal. On his fifth night in Canada, a few fans walking by the Harbourfront Centre heard faint music echoing from the pier. It was rhythmic, familiar, unmistakably Jungkook's voice carried on the wind. Speculation exploded online. Was he rehearsing for a secret performance? Filming a music video? The mystery deepened when a few short videos surfaced, showing a silhouette dancing under the streetlights. Graceful, powerful, yet entirely at ease. The clip went viral instantly. Within hours, it was shared millions of times with captions like, "This is why the world can't stay away." No official confirmation ever came. But that only made the legend grow. An unexpected connection. The next day, Jungkook attended a private meet-and-greet event organized for a limited number of Canadian armies selected through a charity raffle. Every attendee described the atmosphere as surreal, intimate, warm, and full of laughter. He remembered details about people's signs and even complimented a fan's handmade bracelet, one participant said. He made everyone feel special. It wasn't like meeting a celebrity. It was like meeting a friend. Behind every smile, though, was a quiet understanding. Moments like this were rare and precious. Jungkook, despite his fame, carried himself with humility that disarmed even the most overwhelmed fans.